show. The fairy tale is complete. The Central Coast Mariners, champions of Australia.
There's the Sydney derby, the Melbourne derby, the distance derby, but before all of them, there was this one, the original rivalry between the Reds of Adelaide United and Melbourne Victory. This is the one that means the most to these two sets of supporters. Cooper's Stadium is decked out in red, apart from a very healthy corner in navy blue of about 400 travelling supporters to cheer on the Victory. We're at Cooper's Stadium in Adelaide, Dardania, on the land of the Kaurna people. The Isuzu Ute tunnel camp. You can see these two sides that know each other very, very well. Two sides that meet in the A-League for the 64th time. While Adelaide have the edge here at Cooper's, they have won just once in their last 4 matches here against the old enemy. Both sides will be hoping the old adage, you can throw the form book out the window, is perhaps more pertinent than ever, because both sides are in desperate need of the 3 points this evening. It's Adelaide United's 20th anniversary as we celebrate the Pride Cup and the LGBTQI+ community, promoting football and striving to be as accessible, inclusive and safe for all. Well, let's have a look at the two starting 11s. Carl Veert's made 4 changes, 3 of them enforced from the side that went down 3-2 in Wellington. Isaias is suspended, while Ryan Kitto and Stephen Moore are laid low with illness. Javi Lopez comes in at left back and will wear the captain's armband. Ryan Tunnicliffe comes in for Isaias in the middle of the park. Zach Clough, who missed out on the trip to New Zealand with the birth of his first child, returns for Stephen Moore. While up front, Ayubi, Van der Sarg and Jovanovic remain unchanged. The 4th change is at the back, where former Victory champion Nick Ansell makes his first appearance in 2 months at the expense of Panayotis Kikianis. Well, for Melbourne Victory, Tony Popovic, his captain Roderick Miranda returns from suspension. Adama Traore misses out, so Connor Chapman reverts to the fullback role. In midfield, Ollie Roux, Ryan Teague is sidelined with a hip injury, so Fabian Mond steps in alongside Jake Brimmer and Zinedine Mashash. While up front, another Ollie Roux, Nishan Velupillay, starts at the expense of Daniel Arzani. Plenty of attacking firepower on the bench. Arzani joined by Bonavaccia, Economides, Valami and youngster Casey Boss. Massive occasion for these two sides, and you look to your leaders in these situations. Javi Lopez will lead this Adelaide side as we have a look at the ladder. A win for Adelaide and they will climb to within a couple of points of Melbourne City, who are in action against Wellington Phoenix as we speak. Further up, Melbourne Victory, a win for them, they will jump provisionally into 3rd place and move just 3 points behind the Mariners. It has been a difficult couple of months though. Melbourne Victory coming in off back-to-back defeats after going undefeated for the first 15 rounds of the season. They have lost 3 of their last 5 now, as the former Adelaide keeper Paul Izzo heads down in front of the Red Army. Well, pretty as a picture. We've had a brief shower of rain over Cooper's Stadium about an hour before kickoff. Carl Veert, who walked his daughter down the aisle yesterday, as we heard, will be hoping that his good fortune continues with a win. Tony Popovic talked about the pressures that come with coaching Melbourne Victory, and they need to get back to winning ways after a fantastic start to the season. The wheels are just starting to come off. Ali Reza Fagani is our central referee, the Iranian. He's being assisted by Anton Shetinen and Henry Day. Daniel Cook is the fourth official. Well, Cooper's Stadium has lost a little of its aura in recent weeks. Winless in 5 at home, Adelaide need a result this evening to avoid making it 6 games, a club record, without victory at their fortress. Andy Harper, what better game to bounce back and shake off the form guide than in the original rivalry against the old enemy?
No better game, Robbie. Good evening to you and to everybody watching on the 10 Network and Paramount Plus. No better game to find your soul than Melbourne victory versus Adelaide at Cooper Stadium. It is one of the top fixtures on the calendar. I can't ever think of this match disappointing. The only strange feeling tonight is 2 teams coming in such a flatlining form.
And it's the home side immediately onto the front foot. Jovanovic looking to whip the ball in, but it's already gone over the end line and out for a goal kick.
But for 2 teams, and Adelaide in particular, whose season has been way off their usual output, victory have just flattened out recently. There is no better fixture to find yourself, because this fixture will find you out.
A year ago, it was quite literally roles and points reversed. Adelaide were sitting 3rd on the league ladder with 31 points. Melbourne victory were bottom with 18 this evening. Adelaide come in here with 10 defeats and just 19 points. And it's Victory who are looking to put a difficult run behind them, get back to winning ways and reassert themselves as one of the major forces in the Isuzu Ute A-League Championship. Javi Lopez with Ethan Alagic. Turns, looking to get away from Mashash. He's done well. And Austin Ayubi, who had a spell in Cyprus after leaving the Adelaide United Youth Academy, returned with local NPL side Metro Stars, scored against Melbourne City in the Cup earlier this season before getting the deal back with the Reds, who are in their Pride Cup white kit this evening. Alagic, good switch of play for Harry van der Sarg with Zach Clough. Here's Bovalina, called up to the Ollie Roos squad. Clough riding that challenge, looks outside for Bovalina. Oh, and Bovalina's done well. He's got the better of Velupale, shoots from a tight angle, and then he didn't know too much about it, I don't think, but Harry van der Sarg almost poked the ball in from an impossible angle.
That's a good early sider for Adelaide. Van der Sarg, it is really welcome to see him back on a football field, and once the covering work you'd thought had been done, Velupale turning the ball over. Bovalina, great week for him being selected for the Ollie Roos. Massive congratulations. And Harry van der Sarg with the toe poke, which might have actually yielded the ultimate result for Adelaide. Nice touch from Salimi.
There is Salim Khalifi with Mashash. First chance for Victory. Mashash so dangerous in those situations. And he tried to just chip the ball over the advancing Delianov. It's deflected over the crossbar.
Wow, and the icebreaker nearly coming courtesy of North Africa, Tunisia to Moroccan, to the deflection from the former Victory defender, Nick Hansel. Good to see him back as well. And just as Adelaide have threatened the Victory goal, so too the Melbourne spring upfield. Khalifi showing a really clean pair of heels to open up that space.
First corner of the contest for Jake Brimmer. Heads back post. Delianov with the punch. Jason Guerrier gets there. Very quick feet from Fabien Monge, the defensive midfielder. Miranda gets it out to Guerrier, hooks it back in. Mashash, his giant frame in the penalty box, making a nuisance of himself. Monge again with Brimmer. Now Khalifi outside with De Silva. Mashash again trying to bring it down on the chest, just got away from him. That's given away by Zach Clough, pounced upon by Connor Chapman. And Victory, who have been seeing more and more of the ball in recent weeks, dominating possession. They're looking to do so again here. De Silva, whose 2 late goals broke Western United hearts 3 weeks ago. His first goals of the season.
Again, Khalifi's got great acceleration. You know, if any of the balls got there, and he looked to the ref who said play on. Tony Popovic looked to the ref and said what's doing.
Haligic must have just got a touch on it. Brimmer, Mashash again able to turn. This time looks up and crosses back post. Unconventionally dealt with by Ansell. There will be an Adelaide throw to try and release a little of the pressure early on. Mashash prominent early. Six goals and 3 assists for Zinedine Mashash, the only outfield player to have featured at the moment in all 21 matches. Daniel Arzani can join him later on. Ivanovic, no way past Miranda. Ivanovic has been back amongst the goals as well. 2 in his last 2, including a very well taken penalty last week in Wellington. Ryan Tunnicliffe. Silva's header forward all the way back to Nick Ansell. Lopez inviting the challenge from Khalifi and running it out of play.
That's Rusty from Adelaide to start the match. No surprise there. It was really interesting listening to Carl Beard on the panel with Tara and the boys pre-game. And just vocalising the pressure of being in a rut and how hard it is in a even in a professional environment. And this is worldwide, how to turn the fortunes of a team that gets into a rut. And you actually, credit to Carl Beard, you rarely hear a coach actually verbalise the problem like that. The turnover of personnel hasn't helped, but they're not the only team that's had to deal with injuries and absenteeism. And the midfield has got a big job tonight. Casillas does a magic job. No Stefan Mork, recently repatriated. Luis Dorigo, of course, has been gone all season, but he's left a significant hole that on the evidence of this season hasn't adequately been filled.
Luis Dorigo, who's also been called up for the Olyroos squad to play in Saudi Arabia during the next international break. One more round of Isuzu Ute A-League next weekend before the international break. The Socceroos taking on Lebanon in 2 matches on home soil. Ayubi for Haligic. De Silva's there. Very coolly done. Now Brimmer with Valupale. Connor Chapman again over the top. Khalifi takes off. Warland across in cover. Mashash again. Oh, it falls nicely for Valupale. Perhaps a little surprised. Nishan Valupale, whose first ever A-League goal came here 2 seasons ago. The late winner in the original rivalry to open your account. Here's Mashash. Khalifi, early cross. Was he trying to catch out Delianov? Because he nearly did. 10 minutes on the clock.
It wasn't anything. My gut was with your gut, Robbie. I think he was looking to fire this to an oncoming support player. Really got a better option. But they've linked nicely down the right-hand side. Mishash just feinting to shoot slightly, and then Khalifi again. He's made a really seamless entry to life as a Melbourne Victory player. A squad that is heavily laden with wingers. 3 on the bench.
And a third consecutive start for Salim Khalifi. Still looking for his first Melbourne Victory goal. Ball in near post. Again, hasn't been dealt with. Rifled back in over the crossbar by Velupillay. Well, this match that was pushed back half an hour to deal with the heat in Adelaide. It got up to 39 degrees here today. But the match with nightfall, the breeze and that shower about an hour before kickoff is being played at a good intensity so far. Having said that, it is still very, very hot. De Silva long, it's over Mishash, and Bruno Fornaroli with one of his first touches coming in the 12th minute. Great ball from Brimmer, and acres of space for Velupillay. He runs at Bovalina. Velupillay shoots, oh, and it's parried by Delianov, and so very nearly fell to Bruno Fornaroli. Looking for the free kick, doesn't get it.
Then played for the corner, didn't get in. What great play from Jake Brimmer. The ball probably came to him 2 or 3 passes after it. He'd wanted it, but he'd taken the photo in his mind of what was available. His switch out to Velupillay was brilliant. Velupillay's control of the ball was pretty special too. And that started of the two teams more convincingly Melbourne Victory.
Well, it's an Adelaide side with just 1 point taken from their last 18 on offer. 1 draw, 5 defeats. Which is why they find themselves 9 points outside the 6. They have a game in hand on some sides left above them, but not many now, as those round 12 matches get picked off. Their match is set to be played at Western United's new home ground in Tarneet on the 16th of April. All things being equal. And it could be a match very, very important for the hopes of both sides. If things go their way, Ansell hasn't featured since the match against MacArthur on the 8th of January. Nick Ansell, who scored his first Adelaide goal on the opening day of the campaign against the Mariners. Shasha's touch lets him down. Ayubi with Bovalina. Now Van der Sar. Clough. For Bovalina again. Comes inside, now crosses, it's too high for Ayubi. The Red Army making plenty of noise behind the goal that Adelaide are attacking, with Tunnicliffe here, the Englishman. into the feet of Van der Sar, who is also able to turn and face Harry Van der Sar. Alagic with Ayubi now. Can Adelaide create some danger in front of Paul Izzo's goal? Force back with Warland. That's on now with Bobolina. Clough making the run. Jason Guerrier covering at left back in the absence of Adama Traore again this evening. Austin Ayubi pinned there for having a fistful of Connor Chapman's jersey.
Important for Adelaide, that spell of possession, just to enable them to get the side at the Melbourne Victory goal. Frustrating for them that they couldn't actually deliver an attack into the penalty area, but nevertheless, after the early pressure under which they've had to play, it's good for them to be able to move upfield and get the ball moving around. Some interchange between players and some place changing, start greasing the wheel of their attack.
Very happy to sit deep for the moment in what is a 4-4-2 without the ball. Mashash up alongside Fornaroli. There's some experience and goal awareness in that front two. Long ball is a good one for Ayubi, who is quick, taking on Connor Chapman. Again, there was lots of holding on. Ayubi still with Alagic. Jovanovic. Good turn, gets it out wide. Van der Sar gets it into a shooting opportunity on that right boot. Unable to test Izzo again.
Yeah, not the best shot, but there was an end product, at least, of some sort. Harry Van der Sar just shifting the ball nicely to his right, but leaning back and away as he struck the ball. Really nice interplay between Warland, the left stopper, and the move from Ayubi to get in front of Connor Chapman and then be in behind him, and the timing of the pass from Warland, that was really good stuff. And that put Adelaide in that position around the penalty area where they could then release ultimately Harry Van der Sar for that shot on goal.
Here he goes again, Clough with the early cross. It's beyond Jovanovic, and Ayubi wasn't there. It's out of play for a goal kick. Let's head down to Lucas Ronaldo, who's on the sidelines for us this evening. Lucas, is it really that hot down there?
Yeah, maybe not quite as hot as we thought it'd be, Robbie. It's been 40 degrees in Adelaide today, and it's meant to be 39 tomorrow. But like you say, we did have a bit of a downpour just an hour before kickoff, which has meant that it's a little bit more humid, more similar to the conditions that Victory played in Brisbane last week, but maybe a little bit nicer for the players after that downpour. The pitch, of course, always perfect conditions here at Coopers in that respect, but I think the players will be pretty happy that that downpour, it seems to have made things a little bit nicer for them.
Thank you, Lucas. Yes, spoken like a true South Australian. The pitch is always perfect here at Coopers.
I loved Lucas's description of that sprinkling as a downpour.
Well, they haven't had any rain.
We are on the edge of the desert, but fair dinkum, that's ridiculous. A downpour.
It has been a dry couple of months in Adelaide. That's well played. Fornaroli finds Mashash again. So good in those tight spaces, but he's given it away. And then, as is his wont, a player that gives away more fouls than any other player in the Isuzu Ute A-League. Foul number 47 this season from Zizou. The French-Moroccan has also shown us some fantastic touches in front of goal. Sydney FC certainly won't need reminding. Scored in every big blue he's played in. Victory certainly need to get their scoring touch back as well. Defensively, still very solid. Just the 23 goals conceded. It's the third best after the Mariners and Wellington Phoenix. Shash again, finds space, finds Khalifi. His shot blocked by Warland expertly with the arms, locked behind the back. Khalifi gets another chance, blocked again by Ben Warland.
That first effort from Khalifi, we were pretty much right behind it, and I reckon that was going for the top corner. And Warland tucking his arms in. It really would have tested Delianov. The second opportunity that fell to Khalifi just after that, far less convincing. The game's evened out. It was a very dominant start from Melbourne Victory. Looked good, got in behind Adelaide a couple of times. Adelaide have come back into the equation.
De Silva under pressure from the youngster Jovanovic. Brimmer rides the challenge of Alagic, does he, or has he come off second best? Play continues at any rate. Fornaroli does well to get the ball wide for Velupillay. Mashash, Khalifi, Fornaroli arriving in the middle. Great challenge. Harry van der Sarg is taking on Geria. No way past.
That's a good battle, that one, and good on Harry van der Sarg for at least asking the question of Jason Geria, although he's asked the question, he's now got the answer. Jason's pretty quick on the turn. And speaking of that, there's a clattering challenge there. Ref said that's 50-50, play on.
Just a word on Harry van der Sarg, who has been excellent since returning to first team action. He signed for Adelaide 2 seasons ago, and after only a handful of matches had a fracture in his tibia right up at the top near the knee, and to strengthen the bone they drilled 4 holes in it. Basically broke the bone up near the knee. They had to do it again a second time to try and heal the fractures. 18 months later he returns, only to do the meniscus in the same knee, more surgery, and now finally, nearly 2 full seasons later, he's back playing again. Corner, take Brimmer, just asking the referee's assistant about that little challenge from Alagic earlier. Plenty of rumours about the future of Jake Brimmer around at the moment. Reza Fagani in the middle is just telling both sides to stop the pushing and pulling, or else there could be ramifications. Miranda's header, can't keep it down. Roderick Miranda, who was sent off against the Mariners a couple of weeks ago. He was sent off earlier this season at Amy Park against Adelaide as well, for a foul on Nestor Kunda, who was also sent off in a rather bitter finish to that 1-1 draw. Cleared by Miranda for Mashash. Comes inside, oh, lovely play, Velupillay, fantastic stop, Delianov. Fornaroli keeps it alive, and blocked by Bovalina. Lovely football and great goalkeeping.
Well, the good and the bad of Nishan Velupillay, the way he let that ball roll to open the space was magic, really. Now, that is beautiful play to make the chance, but then the chance. This is just a golden opportunity, and it's a wonderful save from Delianov, credit where it's due, but it was that height which helps the goalkeeper. The whole goal to aim at after opening the space brilliantly from Velupillay. then wasted.
The corner down in front of those travelling supporters. In it comes, back post, the header, oh, just wide. I think it was Jason Guerrier in the end. And it might have caught him right on the nose, I think.
I think you can call this now after...
No, it is De Silva.
It was De Silva, but it was Jason Guerrier. I think we can call this now doing the Garuccia, checking that he's got all his Barry Beef intact.
Now we're going to have a little drinks break now after 25 minutes of play. James Delianov, who Eugene Galekovic recently called the best number 2 in the Isuzu Ute A-League competition. He has the chance to prove it in that wonderfully colourful Pride Cup jersey that Adelaide have supplied for him for the occasion. Roderick Miranda with the Pride Cup captain's armband for the visitors. Everyone has taken on their fluids quickly. Carl Viet having a few words to his attackers, Ayubi and Jovanovic. They certainly need goals as well. Ali Reza Fagani, the man in the middle, likes to keep a tight rein on a football match, but is always prepared to let it flow as much as possible. There are those last two chances, and Damien De Silva, who is excellent in the air defensively, but also in attack. He got his first A-League goal with a header in the derby against Melbourne City, just to introduce himself to his new fans. Only played 12 matches last season and was named Victory's Player of the Year. Shash in for giving away the free kick. He does use his upper body to try and manoeuvre opponents out of the way. Warland back with Delianov again. Ayubi was being dragged back. Well by Javi Lopez, but Jovanovic was coming back from an offside position. Victory back with possession. Miranda long, trying to bypass the midfield this time, and Valupale just got caught in two minds whether to take it on the bounce or wait.
Held his nerve well though, Delianov in the Adelaide goal. It's a pretty closely run thing.
Brimmer again with Monge. Gets it back from Khalifi. Connor Chapman overlapping down this right-hand side. Fabian Monge again. Brimmer. Oh, that's a good ball. Look at the space for Fornaroli, but he was in an offside position.
Well, that was dangerous. Bruno's run was horribly timed, but the space for Jake Brimmer's a worry that Adelaide afforded him. Tunnicliffe sitting very deep as the anchoring midfielder in general, and certainly on that play. And Jake Brimmer will find the pass if you give him too much space.
There's barely a second to be had on the ball. It's You need to have eyes in the back of your head at the moment out there. De Silva again has to be quick. Chapman's ball, putting Miranda under pressure. There are runners everywhere. It's been a very good opening half hour between these two sides. Orland just with a little rush of blood all the way through to his own. Victory happy to just try and tease Adelaide out, and then are happy to look long as De Silva does again. Only finds the head of Warland, a little slip, but Brimmer has done brilliantly. Tate Brimmer gets it out with Velupillay, and again there's a little bit of space for the wingers for Victory. Into the feet of Brimmer. He's looking for the 1-2. That's good strength from Alagic under pressure from Mashash. But it's Mashash who has the ball back now. Lines up from a long way out. Let fly again. It was blocked by the body of Ben Warland. Well, Connor Chapman almost taking the shirt off the back of Austin Ayubi.
Yeah, and it's a long way out from goal, but Ayubi's rolled him really nicely. Good technique, he's got good speed. Very probably can burst upfield there, and because it's in their own half, there's no yellow card. I find them almost the most irritating offences of the non-violent kind in football, because it just denies the game an opportunity and fans an opportunity to enjoy an attack.
Well, especially when Ali Reza Fagani gave him about 15 seconds to stop fouling him as well, and he just kept on going. Consider himself a little bit lucky there.
And defenders of every hue know that in their own half they're not going to get a yellow card probably for such rank interference as that, but if they did think they were going to get a card, they wouldn't do it.
Well, here's Lopez with Jovanovic. Very well defended by the veteran Frenchman Damien De Silva. Calvert has had a fairly forlorn-looking figure the last couple of weeks on the bench of his side, as they've struggled for consistency, struggled to find their early season goal-scoring touch, but have unfortunately consistently been conceding goals. Here's space again for Mashash. Velupillay on the left. It's a lovely ball for Velupillay on his left foot. The save, and Fornaroli passes the ball into the empty net. Goal number 14 for Bruno, who shows he hasn't forgotten where the back of the net is. And Victory's bright start to the 64th original rivalry finally has something to show for it.
Well, the more routine on the Harvey Norman replay, this is just high quality from Zinedine Mashash. Tunnicliffe done like a dog's dinner, and then bursting upfield. That pass to Velupillay was perfect as well. And then on the rebound, one of the great poachers in A-League history, Bruno Fornaroli on the spot to tap it home and give Victory the lead. What a wonderful goal. And Mashash again in that snapshot. Velupillay does well, to his credit. And the parry from Delianov, unfortunately for Adelaide, falls straight into the path of El Tuna for 1-0.
And he joins Apostolos Stamatolopoulos atop the scoring charts with 14 now. Bruno, who had 13 in his first 11, including 2 quadruples, is now back amongst the goals. His first goal of 2024 for Melbourne Victory, after he headed off to the Asian Cup with the Socceroos. And unfortunately for Adelaide, they have conceded the opening goal in a football match for the 14th time this season. More than any other side in the competition. Bovalina with Clough. The cross in, Alagic, Ayubi arriving. It could so easily have popped up back for Luka Jovanovic. Tunnicliffe now. Jovanovic trying to turn. Referee having a good hard look at it. Sees nothing wrong. Ansell's challenge on Mashash. And still play continues. Bovalina outside. Van der Sar back for Bovalina. Nice football this. Ayubi. Nearly both playing squads on the edge of Melbourne Victory's penalty box. And in the end, Ethan Alagic's final effort is rather anticlimactic after all that.
It's pretty frantic, wasn't it? I mean, Victory held their nerve, but so too did Adelaide. A crunching tackle there from Ansell to keep things alive from an Adelaide attacking viewpoint, and then Ethan Alagic was with the last say on that move. It was actually, as it turned out, not a bad little bit of space for Alagic. He couldn't control that left-footed shot, which was disappointing because he's got a nice left foot on him.
And more evidence there that referee Alireza Fagani is prepared to let it get physical as long as it's all within the limits of the laws. Fornaroli wrestling with Ryan Tunnicliffe. Almost had the shirt ripped from his back as well. Englishman in a little bit of space. The former Manchester United Youth Academy graduate. Fabien Monge didn't think that was for him. Bovalina with Van der Sar. Here's Clough. Good reverse pass, but it looked almost as though Van der Sar's done well to keep that in. Jason Guerrier was more anticipating the return pass than Harry Van der Sar was, I think.
Very well done, Harry Van der Sar, and he was very disappointed that Jovanovic didn't take the hint. Gave him a real serve, but not anticipating him winning that ball on the byline, and now it's Van der Sar thundering in to the Lupule.
Let's head back down to Lucas Ronaldo on the sidelines. Lucas.
Yeah, we touched on these conditions here as we see this tackle go in on Valupale. We obviously expected it to be quite poor. As I said, that's a strong tackle by Van der Sar. We expected it to be quite warm. They had the wet globe out here at pitch side, and it's 34 degrees still at pitch side, but the wet globe feels like temperature. It's actually more like 25 degrees. So we've seen a pretty fast-paced start to this game, and perhaps that's playing into it. It's about 10 degrees cooler if you look at what we call the feels like temperature as opposed to the 34 degrees temperature at pitch side.
Thank you, Lucas, for the meteorological update. Well, certainly direct sunlight is a big factor when you're out there playing as well. That with the kickoff pushed back as well to 7:45 local time, 8:15 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, means that we've avoided that little element that makes life difficult playing in the summer months. But the heat certainly still a factor at 34 degrees. Well, there's 6 minutes to go in the first half. 39 goals conceded now by Adelaide so far this season. And James Delianoff, since taking over from Joe Gauci at the turn of the year, Gauci who headed off with the Socceroos and then to Aston Villa, James Delianoff still looking for his first clean sheet. And he'll have to wait again. They're on the road to Newcastle next weekend. Friday night football. Alagic, good little touch for Ayubi. They've got numbers forward here. 4 on 3 if they play their cards right, and De Silva was covering Jovanovic well. I'm not sure that was the right option from Austin Ayubi. The referee allows play to continue.
Yeah, once he'd not passed, Ayubi I'm talking now, once he hadn't passed early in the sequence and he had Victory backtracking, what an encouraging to keep carrying the ball until you could have got a Victory defender committed and playing one of your teammates in. In the end, he got it halfway, and then pass to Jovanovic never favoured his teammate. But he's shown that he could hurt a team, Ayubi. He's got some weapons.
Brimmer with Guerrier. Valupale. Monge involved. Here's Valupale. Back again with Jake Brimmer. Now Roderick Miranda as they manage to bring the ball all the way out with their keeper Izzo. Again, De Silva is defending very, very well this evening at the back for Melbourne Victory. Khalifi, no foul, says the referee. A little space here for Clough. Clough, who decides to shoot, it might yet fall for Harry van der Sarg.
And they've shown, Adelaide, that they've got plenty to offer in this game. The season hasn't gone well for them, but they're fighting hard to stay competitive and then force chances. This is the moment that separates the teams. Chash again at the centre of this magical moment for Victory. Really, it was a beautiful bit of lead-up play. Luna doesn't need more open invitation than that to score.
Now the corner for Adelaide. In it comes. Jovanovic was there. Guerrier's header away. Alagic, oh, and Javi Lopez just took his eyes off it for a moment. He's got it back again and shoots. Izzo with the save, and then Ben Warland looking for the spectacular. Took it off the toe of Jovanovic. And the flag is up for offside, so it's not the highly contested decision of Alagic's tackle that gives the free kick away.
No, it was a great tackle from Alagic, but this offside, which is, as the ball falls to Lopez, was clearly offside. It took ages to adjudicate on that one.
Well, here is the live ladder because Melbourne City have just returned to winning ways. A 1-0 win over the league leaders, Wellington Phoenix at Amy Park, courtesy of Samuel Suprayon, their French defender. So that 1-0 win means that City have skipped away from Adelaide. The gap to the 6 remains 9 points. And they trail by a goal here. It's Victory who are enjoying that climb to 3rd place at the moment. Just 6 points behind the league leaders, the Phoenix. Khalifi can't get the better of Javi Lopez. Well played by the Spaniard, who then up the line towards Ayubi. De Silva is there again.
Get off him, Chapman! He doesn't want you!
Shake of the hand between Lopez and Mashash for that very strong coming together just here. And left the Spaniard down for a moment. Telinov with Nick Ansell, who was A-League champion with Melbourne Victory in 2015, came through the Victorian Soccer Federation Melbourne Victory Academy. Flag stays down for the moment for Adelaide. The cross is not a bad one. Isuzu palms it back out, back in immediately from the flying Harry van der Sar.
Again, more evidence that Adelaide are well in this. It's lovely from Adelaide. He's got better as the half has gone on. He's done some great destructive work in midfield, and that with his left foot is more what we're talking about from him. Beautiful delivery, and just Nibasuki as a target might make a big difference for Adelaide. Jovanovic has toiled really hard, but it's been a tough game for him so far. And Adelaide not going to give this one up easily. You wouldn't expect them to, of course, but they've played some good football.
3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this opening half of football. 11 shots from Melbourne Victory, 7 from the Reds at home, 5 on target against just 1. And it was probably the first from Harry van der Sar that needed saving from Paul Izzo. Otherwise, James Delianov has been by far the busier of the two goalkeepers. Paul Izzo back at the ground where he played between 2011 and 2020, minus the season with the Mariners. Alagic with a good touch, but Damien De Silva has been everywhere in a defensive sense and almost scored as well with the header from a set piece. Monge wins it in midfield. Javi Lopez up the line, but Justin Ayubi still making his way back. Now Velupile gets the ball out wide. Mashash against Bovalina. Early cross. Velupile leaping. Chapman arriving. Chapman hits it, deflected. And it's a wonderful improvised save again from James Delianov, who's kept this respectable in the first half.
Hasn't he done well? He adjusted nicely. Very short notice here. Good reflexes from the keeper. Even the goal that was scored, he made a good effort in some senses to save the first shot from Velupile.
Here's danger. Fornaroli back to goal on the edge of the area. Connor Chapman does well. Fabian Monge turns inside. Can he find an option? Monge with Brimmer. Intercepted by van der Sar. Pokes it forward, but well, he gets a little bit lucky. Jovanovic. Well, Victory are defending. Occasionally a little light on, but they're doing the business one-on-one.
Jovanovic is getting swamped in those challenges. Tough half for him, but a very good half for Victory scoreboard-wise, Robbie, and Adelaide very much in the contest still.
It has been a very entertaining first half of football at Coopers, but despite the heroics of James Delianov in that opening 45 minutes, it is the visitors, Melbourne Victory, that lead at the break, courtesy of Bruno Fornaroli back amongst the goals. It came just after the half hour, and at the break, it's Victory 1, United 0.
Let's turn into a little bit of a dance camp as well. We like this on this Saturday night. Lots of people here on this very warm evening. $500 could go a very long way to some water. We can stay hydrated. You know the drill. We're going to find our winner very soon. Let's keep looking around Cooper Stadium. We're going to find our winner.
This year's Alex Tobin Medal is brought to you by Isuzu Ute, awarded to the best player of the season as nominated by the Paramount ANZ football team. The winner of the prestigious award will receive $10,000. Plus, the Isuzu Ute Alex Tobin medalist will nominate a junior football club of choice to win a brand new, top-of-the-range Isuzu D-Max or 7-seat MUX to be announced during the grand final. To stay in touch with the leaderboard, tune in for weekly updates at your home of football.
Don't forget you can challenge your friends in the A-League's fantasy and tipping competitions. It's not too late to register and play for a chance to win weekly cash prizes every round. Head to play.keepup.com.au to get started. Don't miss the superstars of the Liberty A-League women and Isuzu Ute A-League men every round, every game live. Only on Paramount Plus. Sign up today for a free 7-day trial for new customers only. Terms and conditions apply. ParamountPlus.com for details. Every round, every game live. Only on Paramount Plus. Have you heard Liberty proudly supports the A-Leagues, the free thinkers, the game changers and the goal kickers both on and off the field. Bring your finance dreams to life with Liberty. Loans for free thinkers.
Welcome back to Cooper's Stadium. We're all set for the start of the second half, and as you can see, 2 changes for the home side that are chasing the game. Adelaide United, Nestri Irankunda and Ben Halloran have come on at the break for the 2 wide men in attack, Harry van der Sar and Austin Ayubi, as it's Bruno Fornaroli that gets this second half underway. Fornaroli's goal in the 33rd minute, the difference between the 2 sides. Victory on top, Andy Harper, but for the moment, a solitary goal to show for it and everything still to play for.
Yeah, an even game. I think both teams have been able to show some good quality. Probably Victory shading it on a more consistent basis. And a really good goal to separate the teams. But Adelaide, despite their lowly position on the ladder and very poor run of results, haven't looked that far off. And you'd expect that in this fixture. It's always really tense. See if the subs can make a difference for Adelaide. Halloran's chance now.
And Halloran has done very well. His first contribution, the little give and go down the left-hand flank. He's been in and out of the side, but has still managed to score 4 goals and provide 6 assists so far this season.
And he's really showed great turn of speed there, but De Silva covered him really well. He's been great tonight, blaming De Silva for the victory.
Zach Clough down in front of those Victory supporters. Whips the corner in. Izzo comes. He's spilt it. It's cleared now. Halloran drives it back in. Mashash with the block. And now space for Bovalina. Drives it in low. Guerrier with the help of Valupale. And now Mashash bring it away. It's another strong challenge from Ethan Alagic, who has been not afraid to put his body on the line this evening.
And the look. He's getting the look from Zinedine Mashash. Is that?
Well, he's got a whole lot of looks, doesn't he, in his locker?
Well, he has got a few, actually. But again, this is more another example of the great work Alagic has done. But he just roughed Mashash up a little bit as he ran away, and Mashash gave him one of the looks, as you rightly say. He has got a few.
They generally have an element of bewilderment in them.
That one had some menace.
As here he goes, winding up. The cross is deflected. He was looking towards Salim Khalifi at the back post. Zach Clough sees that there's no way forward down that dead end, turns around and comes back. And a first touch for Nestri Irankunda. Irankunda's touch for Bovalina. Now this, as Halloran is confronted by Connor Chapman. Now Alagic. Irankunda not making that run. This is Adelaide's 3rd last home match of the season. So the Nestri Irankunda farewell tour really does begin now for the home fans at Cooper's, and he'll be wanting to sign off on a high note. I'm sure the fans will be wanting to see him as well before he heads off to join Bayern Munich. And so, after tonight, just 2 more opportunities to get down and see Irankunda at Cooper's Stadium. Speaking of home matches, Melbourne Victory, if they can get the win here, it will hold them in good stead. 6 of their last 7 matches will all be played at Amy Park. Western United next up. They also have Melbourne City in an away fixture, so 2 of the away matches will be at Amy. Their only away match after this evening is Wellington Phoenix. Good challenge, Monge on Clough. again. Bovalina trying to just stretch. Oh, that's a fantastic ball for Jovanovic. The flag was up for offside. It must have been very tight.
But without knowing how tight, or even if it was going to be offside, the tackle again from De Silva. It's the first near bit of joy for Jovanovic. Offside. Clear decision. De Silva has been unerring tonight for Melbourne victory.
Zach Clough with the pass, who not only has a young Australian daughter now at home, having been born here last week. Irankunda, let's fly! Oh! Nestor Irankunda! Well, that's what he can provide as he heads to celebrate in front of the victory supporters. Well, he can strike a football, and he was a long way out, but you just knew as soon as he was winding up it could cause Isuzu problems.
Wow, on the Harvey Norman replay, Irankunda just lights the fuse on the dynamite. Now it's poor goalkeeping from Paul Isuzu. And you can't afford to be slightly off when Irankunda finds the sweet spot. It swirls, it dips, and Isuzu gets his hand to it, but too much power. And the farewell tour, well, the first stop was in front of the travelling victory fans, for which he's been reprimanded by the referee, Ali Reza Pagani. But a great substitution from Carl Vick. Great tonic for Adelaide.
Well, the season really hasn't lived up to the expectation so far from Adelaide, but also on a personal level for Irankunda. And now Clough, well, just put the brakes on himself there, Zach Clough.
Yeah, the pass in defence of him, I thought, was a little under-hit from Alagic as well. A great opportunity that would have been for Adelaide, turning the game on its head completely.
Irankunda again. He's won the corner, and he has made an immediate impact here, having been on the field just 7 minutes. He's got the new haircut to boot as well.
Well, as soon as the ball went into the back of the net, Isuzu's head slumped to the turf. He knew he'd not been up to scratch on that effort from Nestor Irankunda.
Zach Clough with the ball in. Miranda, header away, back in from Ben Halloran, arriving at the back post, but he can't steer it goalwards.
Well, it's a bit of an assault, this, from Adelaide. This is more like it. This is more like the fire and brimstone that the Reds bring on home night every week. It's been sadly lacking too often this season, which has been reflected in their lowly ladder position, but they've found their mojo at half-time.
Delianov with Ansell. Now the key for victory is to weather the storm. The key for Adelaide is to make this domination count. They come again. Irankunda accelerates, stays on his feet, gets it wide. Halloran takes over from Bovalina. Bovalina now, his cross, oh, and somehow missed by Jovanovic. Victory have to be careful here. Adelaide right on top.
Well, and again, that Adelaide chance, I've got to say, started with a bruising, crunching tackle from Ethan Alagic in the centre circle. There's the goal from Irankunda. This sort of action wouldn't be out of place at the International Gymnastic Championships going on at the moment. I saw the tumbling competition, the men's tumbling this afternoon, spectacular. And I thought every time they tumbled, I was thinking of Irankunda. So if he doesn't make it at Bayern Munich.
Well, there's still the Paris Olympics coming up. He's young enough.
Never too late.
For the Olyroos, and perhaps.
Speaking of, I'm going to enrol Ethan Alagic in the heavyweight boxing division. He just crunched Fornaroli in the centre circle. It's been a really good display of ball winning from the Adelaide man.
Speaking of steamrollers, Mashash out for Valupale now as Victory look for a response. Valupale still, here's Fornaroli. And now the follow-up. Appeals for a handball, penalty given. The ball bouncing around. And a yellow card for Nick Ansell, the former Victory man, who seems to be asking, what more could I have done?
Well, after being under real pressure, it's a great tackle from Lopez. His hands out to the side. The ball's probably going goal bound.
There's not much doubt it hits the hand,
Yeah,
is there?
no doubt about that at all. The referee makes the quick calibration. I mean, I doubt very much if Ali Reza Pagani will be invited to the VAR screen to confirm his decision. And after being under the pump, really, and Adelaide getting the equaliser and then really rattling the Victory cage 2 or 3 other times. Wonderful sweeping attack. Adelaide's defence was thin. Machash in the middle of things again. And now it's Fornaroli to step up with a great chance to complete his brace and restore the lead for Melbourne Victory.
Well, he scored in his last 3 original rivalry matches. Bruno Fornaroli against Adelaide. Now the chance for a double. VAR had a look, agreed, confirmed, upheld the decision. So now it's Bruno versus Delianov. This to restore Victory's lead just 5 minutes after it was taken away. And he goes low and hard to the bottom left-hand corner. And just as Irankunda celebrated in front of the Victory supporters, Bruno does likewise. And Victory are back in front.
Well, he wins the penalty with the shot. He scores the penalty. It's too good. I mean, Delianov guesses, decides the right way. It's a really good dive from the keeper, but it's got too much sting on it. They're unsavable. Bruno's got 2 for the night. Adelaide back where the second half started. On the Harvey Norman replay. If they can absorb the shock of that concession and get back on the horse, they can scare Victory again from here. It's been a great start to this second half. A lot of action.
That's now 17 goals in 20 matches against Adelaide for Bruno Fornaroli. His favourite prey, equal with the 17 goals he scored against Newcastle. A formidable goal scorer, 104 A-League goals for the Socceroo. Now, we've had the quality of Bruno Fornaroli and his finishing. What's Nestor Irankunda still got in his bag of tricks? Because you can almost feel it, this original rivalry has still got plenty more to say. Mashash down the right-hand side, the cross beyond everyone. Fornaroli was arriving, so was Valupale.
Well, Tunnicliffe undone in midfield again. Miranda was just too strong for him.
And he's back on top of the goal-scoring charts. One ahead of AP Stamatolopoulos as Khalifi trying to race through. Stamatolopoulos, who's in action later this evening with Newcastle in Perth. One of 3 matches on this Saturday in the Isuzu Ute League. After top of the table, Wellington Phoenix were knocked off by Melbourne City at Amy Park earlier. Now Halloran. Javi Lopez wants it rolled back. He bypasses him, finds Alagic. Well defended by Connor Chapman. Javi Lopez can't keep it in play. was such a bright start to the second half from Adelaide. They got back on level terms, but just that one little counter-attack from Melbourne Victory means they've got to do all that hard work all over again. Oh, Brimmer's header. He's given it probably to the worst person he could have. Irankunda, Nestor Irankunda still going. Fantastic pace. Charging through. And it's been given as a goal kick in the end.
Well, he's got the bit between his teeth at the moment. Nestor through 3, trying to make it 4 and 5. I think originally was given as a corner. The ref overruled himself. I thought his first decision was the right one.
It may not matter. Jovanovic comes again. Adelaide. The cutback cleared by Monge. Missed by Javi Lopez, but Wallen now forward. Connor Chapman again. Does well. Great little turn from Mashash. That's brilliant football. Got out of that tight space and has now charged upfield for Fornaroli on the hat-trick. Saved by Delianov.
It's unbelievable football from Mashash, really. The shift of the ball. And again, it's poor old Tunnicliffe. He's just had to turn and chase. A very unenviable job. And then good work from Delianov again. Hat-trick beckoning for Bruno.
Eight shots on target to 2 for the away side. Another one there from Fornaroli as Jake Brimmer has corner number 5 for Melbourne Victory. In it comes Alagic's header. Khalifi back, and it was arrowing towards that top left-hand corner.
No promise off the boot. Mashash again, he's really put on a show tonight. Just a quite magnificent messy shift there, and Tunnicliffe has to pin his ears back. On loop, he's probably thinking this is where the first goal came from. Good grief, someone stop him. Brilliant play, and ultimately well defended by Adelaide.
Now Alagic finds Irankunda again. Turned into Roderick Miranda. Those two know each other well, and the yellow cards that go with their relationship. Yellow and red. There's Valupale. Tries to drag Alagic out of the way. He's responded to the physical challenge in the middle of the park. Young Ethan Alagic.
Yeah, he's certainly bringing the heavy metal to the Adelaide midfield. I thought he was more indie rock watching him play, but tonight he's definitely gone heavy metal. Ethan Alagic.
And now Adelaide again. Irankunda down to the byline. Now what's the decision this time? He's got the corner off Jason Guerrier.
Top work, Jason Guerrier. It's a big assignment. When Irankunda's in this mood, it's a big assignment. He's got great acceleration, as we've seen. So too does Jason Guerrier. Covers that post beautifully.
Now Zach Clough, who signed a new 2-year contract earlier this season to keep him with the Reds, delivers. Driven back in. Not bad off the boot from Ryan Tunnicliffe, looking to add to his 1 goal this season. Came in his second match against Melbourne City. Since fallen out of favour, but the absence of Isaias and Stefan Mork this evening have just given him a reprieve. He's looking to make the most of it. Irankunda again with Jovanovic. Irankunda takes over. Irankunda. Nestor Irankunda still. Gets it wide. Driven in. Saved by Izzo. Here's Lopez. His cross is brilliant for Clough. Oh, and he should have scored. What an opportunity for Zach Clough. And he knows it.
Well, if anyone's tempted to leave to put the kettle on or surf the channels, don't, because this one is really taking to the boil. It should be 2-2. And Irankunda, he's in this mood, and it's a rare space. He can rip this game to pieces, Irankunda. Stay tuned. He has got the taste for it tonight.
And Tony Popovich and Melbourne Victory are looking for their own entertainer as Clough. Irankunda's down in the back plate. Halloran's shot is blocked. Brimmer cleared. Tunnicliffe back towards Clough. Clough's shot saved by Izzo. Flag stays down. It was a little bit lazy from Victory.
And as it turned out, a good opportunity for Clough to reprise the miss, or fix the miss. Clearly onside. This now becomes a good chance. Well saved. Poor Izzo down to his left. This has been much more like it from Adelaide. Where's this form been over the last 6 weeks?
The double substitution is not going to come from Tony Popovich while defending a corner. Zach Clough again. His delivery's been good so far towards the penalty spot. It's another one, and again it's Miranda, and again it's Tunnicliffe. And that one looked even better off the boot. Jovanovic trying to turn. Wallen dispossessed. Look out, because here's Mashash.
Wow. I mean, there's 2 pile drivers from Adelaide. They'll be having nightmares about chasing Mashash. But he's fairly thrashed that into Miranda. Thankfully, it's hit him on the knee.
So midway through the second half, Khalifi replaced by Daniel Arzani and Jordi Valadon, who's only just back from suspension himself after that very costly loss to the Mariners. He comes on to replace Jake Brimmer, who urges more from his teammates as he makes his way off. Valadon on for his 8th appearance of the season. All 8 have come from the substitutes bench this term. Here he is, first touch. In that number 6 role alongside Fabian Monge. Mashash looking for Monge. Valadon very quick to close down Irankunda. And now Valupale. Haven't seen too much of him in this second half. Monge with Valadon, a little bit of space. They've managed to work it well for Valupale to take on Bovalina, the cutback. Mashash worked it onto his left boot, well defended
By Alic again. But that was crafty from Valupale, just trying to suck the defender in. Bovalino's not nibbling, but it made him backpedal enough so that that angle ball into the centre of the penalty area was available. Mashash, the recipient. A good effort on goal, well defended by Alic.
Now Daniel Arzani with the set piece. In it comes, Delinov comes and punches. Helped on by Clough. Irankunda clatters into Chapman. Oof. Tunnicliffe launching it forward. Referee's called for the trainer to come on and see to Nestor Irankunda.
heavy contact. He lands heavily. There's a little bit of whiplash there, which is very unpleasant and potentially dangerous. But what has been noticeable on a couple of occasions and commended to Roderick Miranda, back play a few minutes ago was in conversation with Nestori, and possibly it was talking him about, I don't know, I'm just guessing, but it was a really good moment that Nestori looked to be responding to from an opposing player in a big derby game. And then when he's gone down a little bit of a crook neck, bang on the head, whichever it was Miranda who went up to the youngster. I think that's commendable.
As we have a look at the difference between the two sides in the first half, it was Bruno in the second as well, as he drilled it into that bottom left-hand corner. Well, we also saw after the Melbourne City game, Jamie Young come and put his arm around Nestori and have a long chat to him as well. It's like he's everyone's little brother in this final season in the A-League before heading overseas. And everyone wants to see Nestori succeed. Everyone's got a bit of advice for him as well, by the sounds of things. Well, there you have it, Melbourne victory as it stands, leading 2-1, climb to third on the standings, and it's Adelaide whose finals hopes are slip-sliding away with every match in which they fail to claim the 3 points. Perth in action later this evening. If they get a win, it will be a 4-point gap between Adelaide in 10th and 9th place, and now we've got Luka Jovanovic down, who's come off second best against one of the victory defenders. Damien De Silva. Adelaide have to keep coming. They have no choice. Their season is playing out in the biggest match on their calendar. Round 3 this season have finished 1-1 at Amy Park. Fornaroli and Ibasuki and a couple of red cards. Next it was Mashash and Fornaroli with late goals that gave victory the 2-0 win. And now this evening in the match for the Pride Cup, is that a foul on Arzani? Certainly looked like it. He's got a throw in, I think. And now Adelaide have decided it is time for Hiroshi Ibasuki, who replaces Luka Jovanovic. Unable to score in 3 consecutive matches. He certainly worked hard, the youngster up front. And now it's a different approach for Ibasuki, who's also been amongst the goals this season. In fact, he's Adelaide's top scorer with 9. Velupale, victory back on the front foot. Oh, quick feet from Velupale, drives it in towards Mashash. The corner, and more defending to be done. There's no Jake Brimmer to take this one, so it's Arzani on set-piece duty from both sides. Down in front of the Red Army, united for all on this special occasion. Arzani delivers. Ball dipping into that dangerous near post area where Miranda was. Now Halloran. It's Mashash back doing the defending. Here's Fornaroli. Valupale, De Silva's in the middle, the cut back for Fornaroli! Save De Silva! Turns it back in and the flag's up for offside. Well, that could have been curtains for Adelaide. And it may yet be, because they've got to check it. Not curtains just yet.
Yeah. De Silva clearly offside, in my estimation. Delianoff again with a good reflex. He's a great shot stopper, James Delianoff.
Taken 20 shots at goal, Melbourne Victory in this match. Adelaide 16.
It's what this fixture does though, Robbie, because there is zero sign from either team of the less than good form they brought into tonight. Adelaide, in that discussion more so than Victory, is still nicely placed on the table.
Irankunda, who was being dragged and buffeted about by Fabian Monge, and he's won the free kick.
And they've got to get the juice going again, Adelaide. Those two really quick stoppages for those injuries to, firstly, Irankunda and then Jovanovic, just took a little bit of the wind out of the sails.
Rolly Bonavazia coming on after scoring on his debut last week in Brisbane. What was nothing more than a consolation goal. Now he comes on looking to help secure things and preserve a lead. Zach Clough. We're inside the last 15 minutes. Clough's delivery is not bad, but it's too close.
And he owes one. He owes his team one, Zach, hasn't he? After missing that header to draw level. He won't need reminding necessarily, but it should be spurring him on.
First touch for the former Wellington and Western Sydney Wanderer. Bonavazia with Arzani. We've seen the impact that Nestor Irankunda made at the start of the second half. He's switched to the left flank now with Halloran coming across to the right. They've got Ibasuki up front, who hasn't had a chance to date since coming on. It's a good challenge by Irankunda. Wallen. He looks long. It's going to stay in play, but Damien De Silva has swept up everything this evening. The changes are also coming thick and fast as both coaches look to their bench for that little injection of something special. It's Johnny Yull who comes on in the middle of the park. Immensely talented young midfielder, replacing another who's worked exceptionally hard this evening in Ethan Alagic. Bonavazia turns it over. Tunnicliffe is in the right place at the right time. Bovalina up against a couple of his future Olyrood teammates. Mashash has had another massive influence this evening. Bruno Fornaroli as well with the double. Damien De Silva at the back for Melbourne Victory. Adelaide have been more than just hanging in the contest. Yull with Tunnicliffe. Yull again. Just got to settle quickly. The new faces for Adelaide. Yull, Ibasuki, Halloran's moved inside as Bovalina's trying to get forward. The Red Army finding their voice. They need the crowd behind them. They need Coopers. to come to the occasion and be that 12th player. Irankunda, beautifully done, skipping away from Bonavazia. He's won the throw off Connor Chapman. Wallen with Ansell. We're into the last 10 minutes of regulation time. It's really only Irankunda that's providing the urgency at the moment for the home side. Credit to Melbourne Victory, who are really taking the sting out of any potential Adelaide comeback, as that's overhit from Ben Wallen.
And I think the ball just too late for Lopez, who's given great width, but they've just not fired the ball out to him when he's been on that touchline, and that was too straight, that pass from Ben Wallen.
All the fans are on the edge of their seats. There's still plenty of time in this riveting fixture to see another twist or two. Lopez fouled by Mashash. Ibasuki's little touch, but it's well read by Roderick Miranda. Velupale. Valadon with Mashash again. Fornaroli in acres of space on the left. Bovalina gets back to cover him. Jordi Valadon with Mashash. Now Arzani. Valadon again. Turned over by Arzani. Javi Lopez back to Delianov. Oh, there's nobody there. He's just given the ball straight back to Melbourne Victory, and that will suit Tony Popovic and his side. This will be a morale boosting win for Melbourne Victory if they can hang on. Halloran. Tunnicliffe.
Let's go forward!
Carl Beard is starting to show a little more urgency on the sideline. Unfortunately, he's not on the pitch, and that's what he wants from his players. Bellowing at them, because if this could be a morale-boosting victory for Melbourne Victory, it could be an absolutely crippling defeat for this Adelaide side at home.
Yeah, and gradually the energy, the oomph, which was very clearly in Adelaide's favour and was driving them to that ascendant position, and then that's just ebbing away, and the sequence of short, square and backward passes are not helping them rediscover that.
Arzani with Valadon. Mashash now looking to show them how it's done, perhaps. Valadon, the cutback for Velupale. Well defended, Bovalina. Miranda's pass. He got under that. Two more changes for Melbourne Victory. Casey Boss, whose brother Geordie scored a fantastic goal for Westerlo in the Belgian First Division at the weekend. He is on for Jason Guerrier. And Ben Falami comes on to replace Nishan Velupale. Ibasuki, he's cut a two isolated figure since coming on. They've been unable. I Can't think of a single cross into the box for him since he's been on the field.
Yeah, and you know, the broader reflection pre-game from Carl Viet, how difficult it is.
Oh, as they've cut them open here, Valami only on the field a matter of seconds. Brilliantly denied again by Delianov, who has been, along with Irankunda, Adelaide's outstanding player this evening. If it wasn't for James Delianov in goal, this result could have been beyond doubt a long time ago.
Yeah, he's been good, really good. They've had a lot of good players tonight, all on both teams. But that broader reflection from Carl Viet as Delianov keeps Adelaide in the team about breaking out of a funk, out of a rut that's been driving for most of the season. He's now finding that in-game, because the first 60-odd minutes, they were fantastic, Adelaide, but they've really contracted now. The effort, it's not the effort's gone, but the intensity's gone, and that quite how you break that now with the time that remains to get yourself back level and hopefully for their sake find a chance to win it. That'll be their hope. It's a very difficult and searching exercise, but Melbourne victory looking stronger by the second here.
Their substitutes have been outstanding. Case in point, Boss for Arzani. And the shot off the underside of the bar. Bruno looking to the linesman to see if it crossed. Play on. Well, he's been so close to that hat-trick on a number of occasions. As it stands, though, Adelaide are still in it. And Irankunda goes again. Oh, he's been caught by Miranda, who does struggle to go with him, and this time he accepts the yellow card and even puts out the hand for a high five with referee Ali Reza Fagani.
Yeah, he's been great since he's come on, Irankunda. But again, like, these bursts from all over the field were setting Adelaide alive. This is nearly killing Adelaide. Fornaroli trying to complete his hat-trick, but off the crossbar and stays in play. It takes that sort of ferocity to beat James Delianov. But Irankunda started that from the far touchline, out sprinting whoever wanted to try and go with him. And that sort of energy generally has been missing from the Adelaide team in the last 5 to 10 minutes. When they were operating with that sort of high octane, they looked like they could win this game.
Clough again, still looking for that perfect delivery. Back post this time. The header from Bovalina. Well, that's how close the margins are that we're talking about. From the crossbar at one end, saved at the other. The difference between 3-1 or 2-2.
Yeah, it's a good header from Bovalina. It's a terrific save. What a wonderful game of football this has been, Robbie. And the goalkeepers have been stretched to both ends of the field, which tells its own story.
There will be stoppage time. There will be more chances. Bovalina was just denied by Izzo. He makes his way into the box again. In comes the cross. Ibasuki, oh, with the flying karate kick to the head of De Silva. He looks like he's all right. The Frenchman.
Yeah, it's a poor ball from Javi Lopez. Maybe he's feeling a little fatigued as well. He hasn't played a lot of football this season, and trying conditions, searing heat in Adelaide. And that was a poor ball from heat. And Ibasuki obliged to try and make something of it.
Nestor Irankunda leads the Paramount Plus player index since coming on. Bruno Fornaroli has a double. Delianov with a number of fantastic saves, and Mashash, well, he's been everywhere with some moments of absolute brilliance. Tunnicliffe wants a little bit more help in the middle of the park. He's got the ball back again. Irankunda still charging around. He's come straight through the back of Fornaroli. He might have hurt Bruno there, I think, who's slow getting back to his feet and is hobbling away as the referee wants to have a word to Tony Popovic. That's just a little misunderstanding. Perhaps Ali Reza Fagani thought Tony Popovic is still apologising. I wasn't shouting at you.
No. You don't have to shout at Ali Reza, you just have to look sideways. He's done a good job tonight. Big game referee. And it's been a big game, this one.
It's his third original rivalry match. Adelaide won the first two with Ali Reza Fagani in charge. Now Bonaventure has put his hand on that and grabbed it. Handball goes Adelaide's way. There's going to be another substitution. Tunnicliffe, who's running on empty. It's been a long time since he started. So Giselle is into the game for the final seconds.
7 minutes.
6.5 minutes left. Yes,
Now.
7 minutes of stoppage time.
And Tony Popovic is feeling the heat as well.
That's great play. Oh, that's going to be a free kick.
They're not going away without a fight, Adelaide. Stirring staff here at Cooper's.
Great run from Johnny Yull down on the byline. And another set piece. Adelaide, the side who have scored more set piece goals than any other team in the competition. How desperately they need one now. Zach Clough goes for goal himself. Oh! That did not look far away.
Trying to catch everyone by surprise. Oh, it's close. It's close to going in by itself, and also Javi Lopez just out of his reach. There's a tasty effort from Clough.
We're into the last 5 minutes minimum. There could yet be more if there are more stoppages between now and the end. We've had more post-90-minute goals in the A-League this season than any other season. We've had more goals than any other season. Casey Boss with Valami. Now Mashash. Still going. Zinedine Mashash. What an addition to the competition he's been. Casey Boss again, looking to make a name for himself. And the Boss family name at Melbourne Victory after his brother's starring turns with Melbourne City. Giselle with Javi Lopez. Johnny Yull coming short. He bypasses the midfield. Back with Ansell. And wants Bobolina to open up. Oh, they've missed out on that opportunity to come down the right and get it to Irankunda. So they filter the ball back out left and they've lost it. Arzani glides past Javi Lopez, who just reached for the groin for a moment there. He's just about out. Mashash. Valami with Arzani. A goal here will finish it for Adelaide. Arzani again. They took the most difficult option, which exceptional players often tend to do. Bonaventure. Is the experience of victory going to be enough? Clumsy foul from Warland. Arzani is staying down. It's a tough watch for Adelaide. It's been a tough few weeks, and it's going to be, if there's not something special here, it could set the tone for a very difficult end of the season. Irankunda gets it wide with Bovalina. Bovalina again with Yul. Javi Lopez. The glancing header. Irankunda gets there. Lopez, who's injured and has to be careful not to hurt himself anymore. No way forward for Irankunda again. 90 seconds left in the original 7 awarded for stoppages. Jordi Valadon has done a fantastic job since coming on, immediately acclimatised to the pace and intensity of the game. Irankunda's cross, finally one in the air for Ibasuki. It's just too far, and the flag is up for offside.
Wow. Tense from the Adelaide fans and bench, led by Carl Viet, on the edge, hoping, believing their team can extract a miracle. Escape here late with the free kick for Ibasuki's offside. Should see Melbourne Victory bring it home from here. Ali Reza Fagani is not one to go long beyond the nominated additional time. First time for everything, I guess.
Yellow card for Izzo for just a little bit of time wasting. Now, it's now or never for the Reds. Warland with Ansell. Bovalina rides the challenge of Fornaroli. Back with Ansell. They need the ball up the other end. They need it there quickly. Ali Reza Fagani looks at the watch and blows the full-time whistle. Original rivalry triumph for Melbourne Victory, and their travelling supporters exult inside Coopers Stadium. It's another loss. 1 point from their last 7 matches for Adelaide, who are stumbling towards the end of the season that started with such promise, and wins over the Mariners and Melbourne City. But there has been very little joy since then for Carl Viet's side, and it's Melbourne Victory who return to the winner's circle. Melbourne Victory, who are all smiles this evening in Adelaide. Well, this match always lives up to the billing, and this evening was no exception. Bruno Fornaroli gets back to scoring ways with the double, despite Nestor Irankunda's brief equaliser after he came on at the start of the second half. It's finished here at Coopers Stadium. Adelaide United 1, Melbourne Victory 2. And let's head straight down pitch side with Lucas Ronaldo.
Absolutely brilliant game, wasn't that, Robbie? I'm joined here by Damien De Silva. Damien, it was thrilling for the neutral. How sweet does that feel?
Yeah, we are very happy because it was an important game for us. We know we were in bad period,